Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the video with the Roshank Redemption, and today, as I'm sure you guys can tell from the title of this video, we're going to be discussing and speculating on Fallout 5, or whatever Bethesda decides to call their next installment in the Fallout franchise, which, by the way, I still cannot believe that I'm doing this, given that Fallout 4 is still not out yet, and we technically don't know if Bethesda will even make a Fallout 5, but I saw some things in a recent interview with Todd Howard that vaguely related to Fallout 5, and I really couldn't help but share them with you guys today. Alright, so to start things off, I'd like to read a couple of direct quotes from Howard in that interview I just mentioned. I'll also go ahead and link the interview in the description below, which I would recommend checking out because there's some really good stuff in it. But anyways, towards the middle of the interview, Howard was asked the following question: when did you come up with the concept and story for Fallout 4? To which he responded, we started right after Fallout 3. Then, when later asked why Boston specifically was chosen as the location for Fallout 4, Howard responded, it's got good American history stuff, which is good for Fallout, and Revolutionary War and all that. And then, you have all the high-tech stuff that Boston is well known for, and I think those two things together are very Fallout. Now, if you ask me, Howard's response to these questions reveals a couple of very important things. First of all, even if the developers at Bethesda haven't consciously expressed it or discussed it, they are already thinking about where Fallout 5 might be set, with Fallout 4 so close to release now, and as such, I'd like to speculate for the rest of the video as to where Fallout 5 will take place. Please keep in mind though, that none of the following statements are confirmed to be true, and for all I know they might have absolutely no merit to them. Recall that the settings of Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 are Washington DC and Boston respectively. The way I see it, these two locations share four clear characteristics in common. First off, they are both in the northeastern part of the United States. Second, they are both very historical cities and play an extremely important role in American history, which Howard explicitly stated in his review is something that Bethesda looks for in choosing the setting for a Fallout game. Third, they are both very high-tech cities, another thing that Howard mentioned in the interview. And I know this isn't the best justification, but in a list of 13 of the most high-tech cities in the US, which I have linked below, both Boston and DC made the list. Fourth, and this one is much more subtle, the subway or metro system, or whatever you want to call it, is a big deal in both cities. The DC metro system played a huge part in Fallout 3, and the first ever subway system in the US was actually Boston Subway, opened in 1897, so clearly the subway will be a big deal in the setting for Fallout 4 as well. As such, it would appear that Bethesda likes cities with prominent subway systems. With these characteristics in mind, I went ahead and did some research, and after looking into the matter, I think I've narrowed down the possible locations for Fallout 5 to just 2 cities. One thing I do want to emphasize though, is that I am human, and this is all speculation, so it's more than possible that I made some sort of mistake or overlooked something, and as such, this is in no way any sort of absolute or authoritative list. All I'm stating here is my opinion on the matter, and feel free to disagree with me in the comments below. Anyways, the first potential location for Fallout 5 is New York City, because it's pretty obvious that New York City satisfies all the categories I just listed to the fullest. For one, it's clearly in the northeastern part of the United States. For two, it's definitely a very historic city, having played an important role in the Revolutionary War and other historical events. For three, it's undoubtedly a pretty high-tech city, being a huge center for business, technology, and other such things. And finally, the subway system is a massive deal in New York City, perhaps even more so than Boston or Washington DC. I don't live in New York City, or even close to it for that matter, but I do know that the subway is a main means of transportation there, and as such, New York City satisfies all 4 characteristics I listed previously. The second potential location for Fallout 5 is Philadelphia. Once again, let's go ahead and go over the facts here, guys. Philadelphia is located in the northeastern US, as is the case with Boston and DC. It's obviously a very historical city, being home to where the First and Second Continental Congress took place. It's certainly a very high-tech city, being home to dozens of tech companies, and it does have a subway system, which isn't as big a deal as Boston or New York, but it does exist, and as such, Philadelphia also satisfies all 4 characteristics I previously listed. Alright, well at this point, I've narrowed down the possible locations for Fallout 5, at least in my opinion, to 2 cities. New York City and Philadelphia. Now, as for which one specifically I think Fallout 5 will take place in, well, that's a really difficult choice. Both would be great settings for the next Fallout game, but I'm going to go ahead and say New York City as my final choice, because while I would argue that Philadelphia has more to offer with regards to American history, I'd also say that New York City is a little bit more high-tech, and I could totally see Bethesda doing some amazing things with the subway system. So folks, you heard it here first. Fallout 5 will take place in New York City. I'm calling it right now. And with my luck, in a few years' time, we're going to find out Fallout 5 is taking place in San Francisco or some other West Coast city. Lame jokes aside though, and that was a really lame joke, not one of my better moments, but anyways, I want to re-emphasize here that all of this was just pure speculation, and for all I know, it's completely off base. This was just me analyzing the facts and coming to what I think was a reasonable conclusion, and as such is in no way guaranteed or true. So guys, because all of this is nothing more than conjecture, I want all of you to tell me where you think Fallout 5 is going to take place. As always, the person who provides the best justification for their thoughts will receive a small shout out from me and be featured in next week's video. Speaking of which, congrats to Brahma Enterprises for winning last week's comment contest. I will leave a link to his channel down in the description, so be sure to check him out after the video is over. And guys, just to reiterate here, your comment does not have to agree with my thoughts, nor do you have to like the video or subscribe or anything of the sort. So long as you provide a good justification and a well thought out comment, you'll have a great chance to win this little weekly game. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next Fallout analysis video.